All right. So once again, this is the second set of semifinals for the Starcraft Amateur Hour, Starcraft.org first ever tournament.
Online party tournament 1.
Sponsored by NVIDIA, because they are giving us an awesome video card to give away to the winner, and also to second, third, and fourth place prizes, StarCraft 2 books, and the SHOKZ Starcraft 2 Mastery Guide. So let's get right back to the games with Ponderous as Protoss. Yeah, I like that. Everybody that's a Protoss player should have a P for their first letter in their name.
I agree. So this is Ponderous Protoss.
Yep, and Fake Plants as also that's Protoss as well.
Yeah, he's also Protoss. He's a green.
He's the green
Protoss versus the yellow Protoss.
Okay.
On Blistering Sands.
Yeah. And now,
what are you doing?
I need a Ricola. Ricola.
Can I have a Ricola?
Really?
Yeah, please.
Okay.
All right, wait, is that actually medicine?
I don't know, dude.
Can you read the
I have a sore throat.
ingredients?
All right, so with this, the idea between the map pool for the semifinals was on this map of giving the players a chance to get a little intimate for the first round, and I know it was a little bit of a thought, for us of being like, should it be that intimate for first round? Maybe it should be a little more not a rush map, but we figured we'd try something unique.
Yeah.
Letting other players see the other player's reaction to a short map. Do they rush? Do they?
Exactly. Are they in this to play standard on a map like this, or are they going to try to take advantage of the short rush distance and do something sneaky? So it's been sort of interesting to see the results. Most of the players, it seems like, have been going pretty standard on this map.
Yeah, for the most part, we haven't seen much cheese at all in the tournament so far.
Yeah, actually, and that's really surprising to me because I expected it. I expected to see, especially in the qualifiers, lots and lots of cheese plays. But that's why I say all the players are playing at such a high caliber. I mean, these players are all playing really well. I mean, we have these two guys with 100 in the hundreds and 50 APM, which is by no means a beginner APM. So all these players are pretty skilled, and all of them seem like to be relying on their own ability to win them the games, not cheesy plays.
Yeah, and that's really huge with any watching or watching any game. It's just so much more refreshing.
I mean, a proxy or something like that can be exciting, but when you have players that proxy every single game, it just gets to the point where it's oh, come on, more Void Race, really?
So for Ponderous, we have 2 gateways with a Cyber Core coming second, and Fake Plants spotting all of this. And for the Terran, a barracks and okay. So Fake Plants choosing the route of not blocking off his ramp, and this is something you see a lot of Terran players doing now too. They choose to keep everything very close knit in almost a very circular pattern.
Yeah,
around
I
their
actually
base.
see that a lot versus Protosses. Less against Zergs.
Zerg, against Zerg, you really, once they're up the ramp, that's it.
Yeah, you really need to wall off.
They're just too fast. But, Protoss units are pretty slow, and really with this, it's kind of the advantage of making, the Protoss have to run around a much longer distance inside the base to try to get some SCV kills. It's really protecting your income a little bit.
One interesting point about this is, what is that second building being built? It's a factory, right?
Yes.
See, and I do like the reactor core on the barracks, because usually what you'll use a wall off for is to buy time while you tack towards something. So the fact that he's not walling off signals to me that he's going to be massing units quickly. The reactor core on the barracks, meaning that he's going to be trying to get as many Marines out as possible. And the early factory, I think we're probably going to see something along the lines of Marines with tanks in siege mode, which is a really good combo against Protoss. Yeah.
And so Fake Plants seeing these 2 Stalkers coming in across the map because of the Zonaga Watchtower, pulling his Marines back, knowing he just wants to get a couple more just to engage these. Taking some pot shots at this bunker here so it does not get completed. SCV is coming up to absorb some damage, but this is enough Marines to push the Stalker army back.
Enough Marines.
But Stalkers just kite everything so well, no matter what. 3rd Stalker coming into the fray here. He's gonna.
This is really the danger of not walling off your ramp. This reminds me a lot of. But now that the bunker's up, he should be mostly safe. This reminds me a lot of Dragoon rushes against Terran opponents in StarCraft Brood War, where getting Dragoons into the Terran base could very easily win you the game if you did it early enough before they got their tanks out. So it's interesting to see the sort of parallel to that here.
Now, Ponderous not giving up on this attack. Obviously, he wants to see if he could somehow maybe get around this bunker, which he realistically could. I mean, he could take a couple hits. He's going around it. He's trying to get around it, and if he gets around it, it's going to be very bad. All these Marines
are
coming out,
and they're going to engage the Stalkers face on, and it looks like the Marines will still come out victorious because there are just not enough Stalkers here to fight that many Marines.
And Marines without even Stim being finished.
But it does look like the Protoss player has begun building a Stargate. So I wonder what he's going to be using that for. I can only imagine Void Rays. It's the only thing that really makes sense to me from the Stargate.
I so rarely see the Terran, in replays, Terrans salvaging their bunker like the moment they don't need it anymore. That's such a great move right there. Getting the extra income to get an extra tank or two, or
even an extra 2 Marines or something.
And I think these Stalkers, this Stalker harass is finished with this tank.
Now that the tank is out, tanks do so much damage to armored units. Actually, I'm pretty positive that tanks do more damage per second to armored units unsieged than when they're sieged. So it's actually better to fight these Stalkers with the tank unsieged, strangely enough.
And I just love this micro going on with fake plans here, just like bringing his SCV forward, absorbing a little bit of damage, let everything else pull back, and then repairing his tank, because each tank right now in early game is critical. He cannot let any unit of this size fall, because, you have such a fine balance here between the amount of Stalkers coming out and the amount of Marines out, and that tank right now is really what's going to keep fake plants safely in the lead in these battles.
Yeah, and I do want to note also that we are seeing Void Rays being produced from that Stargate. So possibly the Ponder's planning to sneak around the corner of the map with his Void Rays and cause some damage to the fake plant's economy. Is my guess. But fake plant's coming up now to the back door of Ponder's base. Is he aware of?
He is aware, because he did see it from the Xel'Naga Tower. He sees those 2 tanks right there shooting off. And these Void Rays here. Oh, cannot let those Void Rays fall.
But the Marines are getting decimated as they run to try to kill the Void Ray, and now there's nothing left to take the Void Ray out. Both those tanks are goners.
That Void Ray just turning that tide so quickly. I was actually amazed, to not see the Void Ray doing that quick trick of switching quickly between targets to kill, you can kill double the amount of Marines in the same amount of time.
Yeah, I think what was really cool to me is that he pulled this Void Ray back. And the Marines were just on auto shoots, were targeting the Void Ray, so the Marines followed the Void Ray while they just got chopped up by the Stalkers. So that was a cool little interaction.
And so fake plans with the command center built, but doesn't feel comfortable with expanding yet, obviously, because he just lost that battle, and there is a push coming in, but siege tanks...
Yeah, you don't want to engage siege tanks like that. That Void Ray is not going to be good against those Marines and Viking. I think this is a pretty secure position right now for fake plants.
Ooh, he's not going to be Viking. Oh, Miss Micro, get that back. He does not want to lose that, because that is critical to keeping that Void Ray away. Viking with 21 health left. Are we going to see it get repaired and go back out there into the fray?
The one thing, though, that is happening now is that Ponders is preventing fake plants from expanding, which is what fake plants really wants to do right now. He has his command center built and floating in the air, while Ponders has already put his nexus down at his natural. So
exactly. So Ponders right now is in a situation where, all right, so let's not fight. I don't care if I can't engage you,
right.
But you spent 400 minerals, and all you can do is fly it around. But fake plants doing the right decision, saying, all right, well, I'm going to land this, make an orbital command, and just at least get my mules out of this for now until I can fully push you back, if I can.
And the Protoss warping in from a pylon up on the Xel'Naga Watchtower.
Which has been there for most of the game at this point.
Yeah. So it's always important to build those as a Protoss in the middle of the map, or in generally the direction that you're pushing, to help you kind of leapfrog your production forward. The Terran player getting a Ghost Academy, that's a pretty good move in this situation. Because...
Oh, is the tank going to go? No. Wow, saves the tank.
Yeah, because EMP from those ghosts is going to be really, really devastating against the Protoss.
And that could really turn the tide of any one of these battles. Just 2
Yeah.
AMPs and then bring the rest of your force in. But this tank, what are you doing? You're gonna get so eaten up, and this tank just tank driver being like,
Yeah.
oh, you know, got his. It's worse than getting a DUI.
Yeah, that's
It's
pretty
getting
bad.
void raid.
Void raid eyed.
Yeah. VRI.
Driving while void raid. Yeah, but
Oh, and these.
he hasn't been able to kill first void ray kill of the game.
Oh, but those Vikings go down so quick, and this
Yeah.
Protoss army is so huge. Let's look at the army size, 76 to 65. I'm actually amazed that Fake Plants isn't that far behind. The armies
Yeah.
look so much different.
Tanks take up so much supply. Plus that Raven and the medevac just takes up a lot of supply. That's really why he's relying on Marines, because they are really the supplement to his army to allow it to still pack some punch. I think though that Fake Plants is spending way too much time trying to hunt down these void rays, which is sort of their purpose. It's just allowing Ponder's army to build up and build up. His composition is getting better and better against what Fake Plants is doing. I mean, he has those Stalkers, which have a bonus versus armor to take on the tanks, as well as some Zealots to kill all the Marines. It's really actually Ponder's army composition is perfect for taking on the Terran army. So, however, his army composition is relying on lots of lesser HP units, like lots of Stalkers and Zealots. So if those EMPs do get out, they will have a huge impact on the Protoss army, taking away like a vast amount of its total health.
And now we do see Phoenixes on the map, and I mean, really, Ponderous is just needling at Fake Plants. You know, just 1 or 2 void rays just in and out. It's like that. It's like a weird version of the Mutalisk harass at this point, of just always keeping presence to harass. And now they have these Phoenixes, which are just going to do the same thing, lifting up a SEV here or there, or they cannot lift up tanks, right?
I think they can lift up
really?
tanks, actually. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's actually really awesome to lift up siege tanks with Phoenixes. It's super fun. Yeah, but that scan just showing Fake Plants exactly where everything is in the Protoss army.
And now, if Fake Plants wants to win this next engagement, he has to be so careful about placement. He really wants.
Army sizes are really close. Do we have ghosts out yet for the Terran? None yet that I can see. He really should try to have some EMPs mixed in there with his army. It would make such a difference to him.
Now, Fake Plant's trying to lure Ponderous into the range of the tanks, but Ponderous just not falling for it.
Yeah.
Do we have any ghosts?
No, we have no ghosts yet made, although the ghost building has been produced, and now we do
We do
finally
see a
have some
ghost.
ghosts being produced, and High Templar being produced for Ponderous. That's always something I'd love to see in Protoss vs. Terran, is the awesome
versus
EMP
Storm.
versus Psystorm battle.
Who can get it off first?
Yeah, it makes me so excited because the High Templar, if they feedback the ghosts, can kill the ghost with a single feedback. So it really becomes a matter of awesome decision making about how to use your abilities. Do you EMP? Do you try to snipe the High Templar? Do you try to feedback the ghost so they can't EMP your army? It's just an awesome little dynamic.
Oh, now this exchange is going to be too much. Terran players have to move back, or he's going to lose so many. Oh, those Zealots now with the leg speed upgrade.
Awesome force fields trapping the entire Terran army, and it's going to be completely taken apart.
Oh god, those leg upgrades on the Zealots are just like so intense.
There are a bunch of siege tanks hammering away at the Protoss army, though, and that's definitely going to take a toll. There we see the tanks getting lifted up by the Phoenixes.
But again, with the speed upgrade on those Zealots, just closing in on those tanks so quickly, he didn't even need to lift that up so much. It's just like more of a slap in the face at that point of, I can get to you and I can lift you up, and more tanks coming up, and